Hi, in this video, I'm going to give you some straight talk about plagiarism, AI, and the value of good old-fashioned hard work. My name is Jonathan Leitonen, and I'm the Instruction and Reference Specialist at the Montgomery Library here at Campbellsville University. Drawing on my past career as a college writing instructor, I'm here to help you make more informed decisions as you write your research papers. Let's start with the traditional definition of plagiarism. The Random House Dictionary defines plagiarism as the unauthorized use or close imitation of the language and thoughts of another author and the representation of them as one's own original work. But what if the text came from AI? Well, I just went on ChatGPT to ask if copying text generated by ChatGPT for a school assignment is considered plagiarism, and it gave basically the same answer that I and other instructors would have given. You have to put the copied text inside quotation marks and make a citation showing that ChatGPT was the source for that quote. You also have to check the facts yourself, since ChatGPT does make mistakes. If you leave out the quotation marks and the citation, you are claiming to be the original author, and that would be plagiarism. And here is how you would correctly cite ChatGPT in MLA style. Here, I credited ChatGPT using in-text citations, and I use quotation marks. The rules are no different from citing any type of source. Plagiarism expert Jonathan Bailey emphasizes that even if you are not stealing text from a human writer, copying AI text and presenting it as your own is deceptive. All plagiarism, in his words, is a lie. It is an author saying, either directly or implicitly, that the work is theirs and is original, when in fact it is not. So I'd like you to think about how this kind of AI deception affects others. Honestly, I felt very disappointed every time I caught my students plagiarizing, whether it was from AI or somewhere else. I worked so hard to help my students with their writing skills, but time and time again, they broke my trust and made it harder for me to actually help them, since the work they turned in was actually written by ChatGPT, Grammarly, or Google Translate. And I really don't want students to go out into the world and be deceptive like that with their future supervisors. People who are deceptive cause serious harm to society, and that would give our college a bad reputation. And think about how the honest, hardworking students feel when they notice a classmate plagiarizing. If I were them, I'd be furious. At this point, you might be asking, aren't employees in the workplace already using AI for their writing? Then why can't we do that in college too? Well, even in the workplace, employees still have to be honest and follow their supervisor's policies about using AI. Similarly, college students must be open and honest with their professors about AI use. On the other hand, being a student is still a lot different from being an employee. Your future supervisor may allow you to use AI, and that's fine. But in college, your instructors want you to go through the struggle of learning to write and think for yourself. No pain, no gain. You push your brain to its limits when you rewrite and reshape exactly what you are trying to say. This process is called wordsmithing. Like a blacksmith who works with metal, a wordsmith works with words to make sentences clearer and sharper. Wordsmithing means selecting and rearranging words to express the ideas you are creating. It is a skill you can only learn by doing it. The computer can't do it for you. If you are an athlete trying to gain muscle, you can't get the robot to lift weights for you. And sorry for the dad joke, but if you're afraid of the burn, your brain won't learn. So if you plagiarize off AI or any other source, you're just wasting your time and money in college. But if you do your own wordsmithing, trust me, you're going to see some serious brain muscle gains. Here are the areas of knowledge that are exercised when you do your own writing. Use of grammar, vocabulary, and logic, your understanding of the content area you are writing about, and your ability to organize a text with appropriate style and level of details so your readers actually enjoy it. By pushing yourself to a higher level, you'll gain a sense of satisfaction that only comes from doing your own hard work. And here's another reason why you should learn to write for yourself. The other day, one of my colleagues told me he thinks the rise of AI sets the bar higher for students. Employers already know what AI can do, so when they interview you for a job, they want to see what communication and critical thinking skills you have that go above and beyond what AI is able to do. At the same time, it is good to be aware of acceptable uses of AI. AI can help you brainstorm and jumpstart your research, and there are other recommended resources linked below this video on that topic. But if AI gives you a poor idea for your paper, then the most ethical choice would be to cite the AI program and write about the idea in your own words, as shown in this example. However, you have to be cautious about everything AI gives you, and the creators of AI models recommend that you always look up authoritative sources to check the facts yourself. Next in this video, I'm going to go over some common types of plagiarism. These are the kinds of bad choices I saw my own students making time and time again, so I take this stuff personally. I recommend pausing the video whenever you need more time to study an example. Okay, I like to call this the Grammarly fail. You write some notes, and you don't like how it sounds, so you just get Grammarly to rewrite it. And as a bonus, Grammarly can even add citations. But if you actually read it, guess what? Anyone who knows anything about writing is just gonna burst out laughing at the word choices here. Plus, the citations are fake. It's an extremely serious academic integrity offense to lie about sources that don't even exist. That's known as fabricating sources. At a minimum, you should be concerned about being truthful and factual when you write. Now, if you only get minor grammar and vocabulary corrections from Grammarly or another AI program, that is fine. But if Grammarly or another system rewrites entire sentences for you, then it is definitely plagiarism to copy those sentences and submit them as your own to an instructor. And remember, if you don't do your own wordsmithing, you're not going to make any gains in your writing ability. Next, let's talk about the copy and paste facepalm. That's how I felt every stinking time I caught it with the plagiarism detector on Turnitin.com. Take a look at this example. Here's the original, and here's what not to do. The copied words are not put in quotation marks, and there is no citation given to show that the author is David Sondy. If you want to use this source in your paper, you have to include a citation, but I would also recommend paraphrasing most of it in your own words and keeping the quoted part as short as possible. In my career, I have also seen students use Google Translate to plagiarize. Most of the classes I taught were college-level ESL classes. Sometimes I found that students first wrote their papers in their native languages and then put their work into Google Translate. This also is plagiarism because the wording in English was created by Google Translate and it is not the original work of the student. Now here is something that made me just want to scream when I was grading papers. My students sometimes would cite a source correctly, but the Turnitin report showed they were copying from the source and not using quotation marks. Why is this plagiarism? Because the student didn't do the wordsmithing to create those sentences. Copied phrases of more than 4 or 5 words absolutely have to go in quotation marks. Next, you should know that paraphrasing without citing is also considered plagiarism in many cases. Say you take the information from a source and explain it 100% in your own words. That's a good start, but if you leave out the citation, then that is considered plagiarism, unless you know for sure that the information is common knowledge. Common knowledge refers to facts that most of your readers probably have memorized, and it doesn't actually need to be cited. But it is often hard to know if something is common knowledge or not, so it is better to be safe than sorry. Don't be lazy, just include the citation. There is no harm in including too many in-text citations in a college paper. Your instructor will be impressed that you are being so careful to keep track of your sources. Up next, patchwriting. Patchwriting is a mix of copied phrases and new words added. It typically happens when students copy and paste a passage and then delete or replace some or even most of the words. Even if you include a citation, patchwriting is still plagiarism because it is a failed paraphrase. Plagiarism detectors like Turnitin catch this very easily. Patchwriting is a sign that the student is not doing the hard work of wordsmithing to pick the right words and put them in an original sequence. To avoid patchwriting, here are 4 steps for appropriate paraphrasing. First, reread the source text several times so that you memorize the main points. Second, put the source away and write your own sentences based on what you remember. Third, compare what you wrote with the original passage and rewrite any passages that seem too similar to the original. For example, copied phrases that are more than about 4 words long usually should be rewritten or put in quotation marks. Fourth, make sure the facts agree and that you did not misrepresent the original information or argument. And don't patchwrite off of ChatGPT or Grammarly either. If you change some of the words and submit that to your professor, it's still plagiarism and you won't learn anything. Remember, your future employers want your writing and critical thinking to go way above and beyond what AI can do. So do your own original wordsmithing. There's also something called self-plagiarism, which refers to reusing work for multiple classes. Your instructors want you to do new wordsmithing work to learn something new. An athlete can't say, well, I did that workout last month, so I will just count it again as today's workout. However, if you think you have a good reason to reuse part of an old paper for a new project, just be honest and talk to your instructor about it. So let's recap. Any kind of plagiarism involves some kind of deception, and plagiarism functions as a way to avoid the hard work of original thinking and writing. If the computer is doing the heavy lifting and wordsmithing for you, you're doing something wrong. Plagiarism hurts you because it wastes an opportunity to grow and learn, and it makes people angry, whether it is your instructor, your classmates, or the person whose work you copied. And try the guilt test. It is possible to use AI to help you brainstorm, but if you feel guilty about your AI use and want to hide it from your instructor, listen to your conscience. Don't do it! So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and smash that like button and share it with your friends. So you thought this video was going to be about plagiarism, but really, I just want to press home the value of honesty and good old-fashioned hard work. Now get out there and hammer out that paper yourself.